Good morning, everyone. Welcome to MyCity. It's Friday, December 8th, and we are a group committed to helping each other's businesses grow by networking, using LinkedIn, and sharing information, hopefully getting together and improving our business lives, increasing our wealth, and all that good stuff. Today, our featured guest speaker will be David T., who's in real estate out of Arcadia, California. So at this time, I'd like to encourage each of us to give a brief introduction, 1 minute or less. Tell us who you are, how you came to be with MyCity, if you're a guest or if you're new, and also who you're looking to meet. So I'm Scott Harrell. My business is Lifetree Prosperity. I am a business and insurance advisor, and I'm specializing in helping businesses reduce their overhead costs and improve retention with employee benefits and executive benefits. And I'm looking to meet business owners, people who know business owners, CPAs, and I'm based in Long Beach, but I can work nationwide, and I'm delighted to be here. I will now turn it over to Bob, our master. Morning, Bob.
Hello, everybody. I hope everybody had a good week. There's having a good week. It's still not over yet. I've been a LinkedIn consultant for, 17 years, 18 years, something like that. I've been on the internet for over 31 years. And we're seeing a lot of change now, aren't we? So you've got artificial intelligence coming in. But the one thing you really don't replace is relationships. That's still 60% of most people's business comes from relationships. New business, I should say. So it's always I love that whole aspect of it. Love meeting with people, and if you haven't experienced me, go look for me on LinkedIn if we're not connected under Karen, Caryn, and Bob Friedenthal, and I'll let you figure out how to spell my last name. Too difficult for me. It was interesting. Last night I was chatting with my brother. He lives in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I brought up the fact that our dad was on a troop ship heading to Pearl Harbor, and he arrived after he was already. It was like 2 weeks, because those troop ships only do like 5 knots, something like that. Very, very slow. And it's a 2,800 to 3,000 mile trip. He landed in Pearl Harbor after the attack, and he spent the first 7 months, I think it was, or even longer, in Pearl Harbor. So, there's a little bit of history there, isn't there? Mm-hmm. So anyway, I think everybody here is connected to me. So I'll pass the time on to the next person.
Okay. Yeah. So quick reminder, if you've not yet done so, post your contact info in the chat. And we'll speak next with Ed Carter. Good morning, Ed.
Good morning. So it's Ed Carter. I'm Viral Care Pest and Termite Control. We're located in the city of Orange. We cover LA, Orange, and Riverside County. Best referral sources for us would be realtors and property owners, particularly property owners. And I got involved with this group by being invited on LinkedIn.
How'd you find us?
I was invited through LinkedIn.
Do you know who invited you?
No, I don't. An email popped up this morning and said, join this group. And so I hit the Zoom link, and here I am. So my apologies. Let me see if I can pull up the email here again. Real quick. No, it's just from the group. So,
all right. Well,
awesome.
Have you.
Well, we appreciate your showing up, Ed. Thank you so much.
Great to be here. Thank you very much.
Next up, we got Russell Lookadoo.
Good morning, folks. Like I said earlier, it's better to be seen than viewed. I'm Russell Lukadu, the HR guy for small business, and I work with small business owners to help them align their team with their dream. I believe that small business owners have a passion about what they do. If it's making pies or making cabinets, and they get successful and they can't do it all themselves. They have to hire people. First mistake they might make is hire a mini-me. The second mistake they make is hiring friends and family. So I help navigate how to hire the right people, get them to do the right thing the right way. And therefore the business owner sits back and goes, life is good.
And you're busy. You're
Yep,
always busy.
I met Bob in 4 years ago at the Sportsman's Lounge, which they've torn down pretty much now. And been subject to his pestering, which is wonderful. Trying to keep me on guard, on track. But I'd like to meet individuals that have the trust of business owners and they see their friend or client go, my employees are driving me nuts.
Yep, a lot of that going on. All right, thank you,
Hey,
Russ.
everybody, make sure you put your contact information into the chat room, if you will. I think Ed Carter, I didn't see him in the chat. So appreciate if you put some information.
Yep, it's in there. He did
Oh, he did? Okay.
that. Okay. And then a quick intro from David T. Good morning, David.
Good morning, everyone. David T. here with Coldwell Banker, specializing in residential, multifamily, and investment real estate for my clients here in Southern California. I've dived into a little bit deeper since I'm the key speaker today, so I'll pass the additional time to our next guest.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Debbie Voris.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I'm a certified holistic health coach. I revitalize people's lives by helping them identify the root cause of their health issues and create a custom natural strategy to address them in the areas of mind, body, and soul. And my Black Friday special on my Zyda link, where you can get a package of 5 for the price of 4, you save $50, has been extended. The Zyda link is a transdermal optical imaging app that I send you a link on your phone, and you would scan yourself for 30 seconds in the areas of functional, energetic, and emotional, as seen in different body systems and lifestyles. It will give you a report on where the biomarkers are out of line, as well as what services are recommended and products. And I'll review that with you. So you can save $50 on a pack of 5. And normally one scan is $50. So remember my radio and TV show, Debbie Changes Lives, which is on W4WN.com on Thursdays at 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern. And I have guests all the time. I had a relationship guest yesterday, and you can see it on my YouTube channel. So that's all in that chat there. If you have any questions, just contact me. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie. She's everywhere these days, which is awesome. And all the stuff she told us about is in the chat. So take a look and copy and paste and so forth. Moving on to my dear friend, Betty Withrow. Good morning, Betty.
Good morning, Scott. Top of the morning, in fact.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for your kind words. I am Betty Withrow. I'm the Writer's Launchpad. Anything related to communication, I probably either do it or know someone who does it better than I do. I'm a writer, a author coach, a ghostwriter, an editor, and a content creator. I work with an amazing team of collaboration partners to create marketing solutions for businesses that give them what they really need. And also am now working as a multimedia publisher. I uploaded a couple of books last week, and one of them became an Amazon bestseller. Briefly, but she got the tag. So if you know someone, or you are that someone who has a whole lot of knowledge that needs to get shared with the world, then please reach out to me and I'll be very happy to work with you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Betty. And next we're going to speak with Ed Cicinato. Ed, I see that you would like to be a featured speaker, and so I'm making note of that. And towards the end of January, early February would be perfect. So
sounds
morning,
great
Ed.
to me.
Take it away.
Yeah, Ed Cicinato. I am the franchise owner of Edward Cicinato and Associates Dream Vacations. And why should you use us? I don't know. But you should use us because one, we don't charge any fees. Two, I have 9 associates working with me who are experts in various areas. Europe, the Mediterranean, cruises, all-inclusive resorts, groups. I myself specialize in groups. And we, as being part of the country's largest full-service travel agency, we get more exclusive offers than anybody else. And I would love to share those with you. Got some great deals going in Alaska.
Nice. All right, great. Thank you, Ed. It's good to see you here. And welcome back, Phil Wolfstein.
Take it off mute there. Thanks so much, Scott. Appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. Phil Wolfstein with Zoom Business Brokers. I'm a certified business broker, and what I do is I help business owners find qualified buyers for their business. And I always like to say selling a business for entrepreneurs, for business owners, is not a event. It's a process, and that's a lot of moving parts. It typically takes 7 to 9 months from an initial conversation until there's an actual close of escrow. And during that process, starting with a broker value determination is made of, whether the business owner, the seller, is ready to go to market. Short version, if not, after evaluation comes up, then I'm a great referral source to business coaches, business advisors, CPAs, transactional attorneys, a lot of the professionals that become part of a team to help that business owner prepare, get ready, implement the changes that are necessary to get the business ready to sell. When it is, I'm the guy that lists it, writes the contracts, does the marketing, vets the buyers, goes through due diligence, conditions release, work with landlords or the business owner, property owner to sell the property or business, or negotiate a lease assumption or a new lease arrangement, and then escrow and a close. So point being, it's a process, and it involves a team, and a lot of those team members are professionals like we have in this meeting. Made a lot of good relationships and friendships, and done a lot of business by networking within this group. So it's a pleasure to be here this morning.
All right, awesome. Thank you, Phil. And another seasoned professional, Paul Levine. Good morning, Paul.
Not that old.
Seasoned. not
Well,
dried up.
I was a practicing CPA for over 50 years before I got into real estate. So we know real estate, we know how to save you income taxes like no one else does. We do what's known as cost segregation studies for you, and you can get an unbelievable amount of income taxes, saving you tens of thousands of dollars in income taxes, deferring those taxes so that you can either buy the property next door, get qualified for a loan, or going back to a previous speaker, taking that vacation that you want to take that you never had with a loved one. My partner is Fred Sams. We are located in Southern California, but we work wherever the Internal Revenue Code lets us. And we also help you buy and sell commercial real estate. We have great experience. On to the next.
Thank you so much, Paul. Great to have you back. And good morning, Cheryl McBride. Hi, Cheryl.
Hi, good morning. Did you know that you might be leaving money on the table? Are you aware that there's places you can put your money to grow and you can borrow from it? We helped a lady find a medical problem she didn't know about when we did a discovery call with her. So you never know what those discovery calls are going to bring up. Are you prepared to walk off the planet? Is your family going to be happy about that? No, they aren't. Anyway, we are helping people, individuals, small business. We're teaching groups, we're educating, whatever you need me to do, I can help with that in that area. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Cheryl. How did you hear about our group?
Oh yeah, Bob. I was in AZ Mastermind with Bob, and he's been a big help with LinkedIn.
All right, great. So you were located in the Phoenix area?
Yep, Mesa, Arizona.
Awesome. All right, welcome. Great to have you here, Cheryl.
Thank you.
And good morning, returning for another visit, Bill Schweber. Good morning, Bill.
Good morning. And I was invited by, oh my God, he's gone. Where did Merch go?
He's here.
There you are. You put your picture on. I was looking for your name. I was invited by Merch, and he said, I have to come to this group. I have to meet. I have to get involved. Can I mention Merch's name again? I have to do it at least 14 times. No, I'm joking. He's a good friend. I do IT data forensics for major litigation. I usually work with the forensic accountant or the attorney to find the missing $1 billion or $1 million that they're looking for, or to defend them so they don't have to pay out. I've done major cases for the US government, and I've did major cases against the US government. They have a very short memory. They don't remember whether I was on one side or the other. I've got some interesting stories to tell. Unfortunately, for the most part, I can't tell you the details. That's it, Bill Schweber.
All right. Sounds like a lot of fun, Bill. Appreciate your being here. And we're next going to say hello to Eileen Dawson. Good morning, Eileen.
Apologize for an offsite meeting that went a little longer because of a ambulance that backed up all the traffic. Anyway, so so my name is Eileen Dawson. I'm up in Massachusetts, or next below if somebody's in Canada, or side if there's someone on the West Coast. And I am a certified Ramsey money coach, and I work with individuals and couples, and I do some group trainings for schools and companies that would like a personal finance training for their employees. But most of what I do is at the individual or at the couple level. Many of my clients are living paycheck to paycheck, and they're looking at getting out of credit card debt, student loan debt, vehicle loan debt, or all of the above. So I walk alongside, guide, and teach people how to goal set and budget and all the other things that are necessary in order to get out of debts. So thank you for having me. And Alan Holmes is my referral.
Thanks, Eileen. And I really appreciate the work that you do. So we're going to next say hi to Moshe Math, who was trying to post, but he kept posting it directly to me, so I just shared it for him. So and he's having a moment here. So we'll come back to you, and then we're going to move on to, we just lost him, to Jacob Bassett. Looks like he's somewhere in the cold Midwest with that hat on. So good morning, Jacob.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, I know most of you, there are a couple new faces. I'm located in Illinois, as Scott said, the very cold Midwest, although today is much warmer than it's been, thankfully. I am in the business financing industry. We have direct relations with major banks and credit unions to offer some alternative programs for business owners, real estate investors, and individuals alike. That way they can have access to not only cash for the cash needs, but also those new startups can access some credit lines to start growing and building their business credit history. Great.
Thank you, Jacob. Good to see you here again.
Likewise.
And we're going to now say good morning to Damar Lewis, who's now an official subscriber to MyCity, which we really appreciate. Good morning, Damar.
Good morning to the group and to Scott. Had a wonderful conversation earlier this week with Scott and with Bob, and learned a lot. And I am a business coach. I help businesses to grow their profits, help them to work less hours, and help them retain good people. And so if you know of anyone that's struggling in that particular area, I'd love to talk to them. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Great to have you. And is it okay to say that you have a niche specialty in pharmacies?
Yeah, working
Independent
with
pharmacies.
pharmacy owners. Yeah, I have a 40-year history as a pharmacist. So yeah, my niche is in working with pharmacy owners, but all small businesses have typically have the same type of issues. They have issues related to cash flow. They have issues related to being able to retain good people once they train them. And so from that standpoint, it's not limited to pharmacies.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot of challenges in small business ever since COVID these days.
Yeah.
So appreciate what you're doing. And we also are delighted to have back our friend from Alabama, Corey Northington. Good morning, Corey.
Good morning, everybody. Glad to be here once again. Happy holidays. Hope everybody's having a great Friday morning in their locations. And me, I'm just an independent social legal shield. I came across the group through a mutual business friend. I kind of forget which one and everything, but thanks to that person, I've made a few good connections here. Just wanted to say thank you, Bob, for the interview you did with me the other month. Been getting a lot of interesting traction on my LinkedIn account. So, and just thank you, Scott, too. So for hosting and everything. So, and me as an independent social legal shield, I help empower individuals, families, and small business owners with legal and identity theft needs. So whether you're trying to review documents and contracts, if you got employees in your company, we have volunteer group benefits, and it's a nationwide and Canada service, and it's a right now benefit. So I left my information in the chat. Be glad to help in any way I can, grow what y'all doing as well. And with that, I'll just turn it back over to the group so we can continue this amazing meeting.
Thanks, Corey. All right, now we're going to give another go with Motion Path. Good morning. You're muted.
Good morning. It's one of those days. I apologize. Anyway, my name is Moshe Math. I'm a partner in a company called New and Trained Sciences. Our system looks similar to massage chairs at the airport, but that's where it ends. We use sound, light, and vibration to take your mind and body through a voyage and relaxation through brainwave entrainment. One of the terms, I'll leave you with this. I attended an event in Massachusetts, not far from where Eileen is. It was in Framingham, Massachusetts. And it was through the American Massage Therapists Association. Someone asked me during a gathering, social gathering, what does your system do? And I said to her, you see that glass of wine in your hand? She said, yes. I said, our system does what that does without the calories and the after effects. So I think that gives you an idea of the goal is to reboot the brain, remove all the distractions. In a process that helps reduce the stress you're experiencing. It lets you be more productive because you can go back, review work you did earlier, different set of eyes but your own. Or it lets you take on a new project with a fresh mind because all your distractions have been taken away in the process. And we have other sound sessions as well, but that's the most popular one. So I thank you all. Enjoy your day and weekend, and look forward to listening to what David has to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Moshe. All righty, so looks like David came back in, so hopefully he's rip-roaring, ready to go. And thankfully, it's only 8:30, so we've got plenty of time for your presentation and some Q&A. So if you can share your screen, let's take it away, David.
All right, thanks, guys. Sorry for the technical difficulty earlier, but I'm glad my Wi-Fi is back on now. As I shared earlier, with Coldwell Banker, we are a brand, we are right at 117 years. So we've been around the block quite a bit. And the great thing about working with Coldwell Banker here locally is that we've got all our resources housed under one roof, meaning our title escrow company, as well as one of our sister companies, which is our in-house lender. So it's fantastic to be able to, partner with referral sources that have needs in which we need to run a report or run some figures for our clients. I actually met Bob over gosh, probably a little over 10 years ago. And in my prior professional career, I sold HR software for the likes of ADP and other competitors out in the marketplace. So I went from helping business owners manage their biggest asset, which is their employees, right? Payroll costs, insurance, and all that not so fun stuff of running a business. But I decided to redo my kitchen, and I've been actually licensed since 2016 and sort of just fell in love with real estate. So at this capacity, I've been kind of, geeking out and leveraging a lot of the things that my prior career, as well as Bob, has taught me, which is leveraging big data to provide, our clients with the best information available to help them make their decisions. Whether it's, thinking about moving their single family home or looking to invest further in multifamily real estate or real estate investments as a whole. So back to, us leveraging data. When you think about the multiple listing services, that's kind of the hub and the central command center for all the new listings, for all properties that have fallen out of escrow, those that have had price reductions or getting into foreclosure is being housed in this central database that gets pushed out to Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and your Zillows that are out there. So, we like to tell our referral sources, lean on us for data, lean on us if you have a client that's curious to the property value of their home or investment properties. I'm going to do a quick screen share now and kind of, dive into some of the tools that we have at our fingertips. So if you can think of, questions, just pen it for a little bit later, and then we can go into some of the screens. Give me 1 second. Are you able to see my screen?
I think Marie needs to reset you as a co-presenter.
Oh, okay. No worries. In having some of these conversations with my referral sources or even my own family, they're like, hey, I don't really know of anyone that's looking to sell or purchase their home. And I said, let's just keep it simple. Think about, life events, right? David, divorces and deaths. So we know death is, pretty much 100%. Divorce here in California, unfortunately, is a pretty high percentage. So just kind of reframing the referral process for my clients, as well as my referral sources, letting them know that I've got the technology here to run these reports on their behalf and be able to give them leading edge data to help them make the right decision. Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Oh, perfect. So I ran a quick report in our system just for single family homes in Los Angeles County. So not just LA City proper, but the whole county itself. As you can see, we are still very much in a seller's market at a little over 2 months supply. The numbers here is definitely a reflection of the downward pressure that higher interest rates have had on our industry. In the last 12 to 13 years, this has been our lowest number of transactions in the last 13 years. So we have a feeling that why we're still very much in a seller's market is that individuals that have a lower rate, meaning under 4%, they're not making any sort of moves, meaning they're not listing their homes and moving into a larger or right-sized home because of the great rates that they received over the past couple of years. So with that being said, we're still seeing 12-month changes in property values sneak up a little bit, despite the fact that we have lower inventory. What we're hearing now from the Fed is that we've seen some easing on inflation. So we should see some interest rate reductions come second quarter as well as third quarter of 2024. Our guess is that it's probably going to push up your median sales price for homes, because that's going to cause an influx of additional buyers to the marketplace, because we have a handful, we've got a good portion that have been waiting on the sideline for rates to come down to jump right back into the market or to list their home and then purchase another property. New pending listings, this is a great indicator of what we're seeing in terms of newer inventory and newer listings that are coming into the marketplace. So right now we're sitting, for the median listing price, not the average, just shy of 900,000. Median days in RPR, meaning once the property has been listed, it generally would take just shy of 3 weeks until it gets an offer accepted and escrow is opened. For sold listings in the month of November, we're seeing a little bit of a downward trend just because of seasonality. Normally, we don't see as many homes listed during the months of November, December, as well as January, due to the holiday calendar. So chances are we're probably going to see an increase in the number of properties that are going to be listed starting at the end of January into February. So for any of these sort of reports, if you have a client or yourself is interested, let me know. I can take a much deeper dive beyond just using LA County as an example, but go into a specific city, go into a specific neighborhood on your behalf or a client's behalf. So this is a great tool for us as realtors to really showcase and help our clients visualize the different changes that are happening and help them make the right decisions as they're, making these sort of life changes or considering, a separation and or divorce. The great thing about this RPR tool here is that in addition to market valuation reports, I can even do a quick school report for our clients. Here in the San Gabriel Valley, we have a city by the name of Arcadia that's very well known for their school districts. So we tend to have people that are, considering paying a little bit more so that their kids don't have to go to private school. So I'll be able to run the school report for any particular city and or school districts that your client may need. In addition to it, to this is the other part that I talked about is when we work with clients that are, unfortunately don't have an estate plan, sometimes they may have to go through the state probate process, which could be taxing, right? So the great thing about what I'm able to do, and here's our awesome title rep, Mike Ojeda. He's assigned to our office, so I get access to the system that is able to use basic mailing address, home address valuations that I can run on your behalf or your client's behalf. So I can use mailing address and or owner name and be able to pull up a report that can give us basic information on the property itself, and also to see if there's any sort of liens on the property. What's great about this title solution is that we can run it for residential as well as commercial properties. So I just pulled one for our office. Oh, sorry, I just pulled one here. As an example. It's great basic information on the property itself, APN numbers, characteristics of the property that they have on title. And then I can also see the whether or not they have a loan on the property or not. So I think this is pretty helpful for some of the family attorneys that I've been working with. Many times, you know, when a couple is considering divorce and splitting up assets, what we can do is, you know, come in with our broker opinion, utilizing these title tools, as well as these reports that I just went over from our market and residential searches, and be able to come up with a number that's not based on what happened 3 or even 6 months ago, but specific to, you know, what's occurring now in terms of the marketplace, the effects of current interest rates, and be able to give them the information that they need from a big data perspective. So utilizing all these tools, I think, is what makes us, you know, and our Coldwell Banker team so much stronger in terms of, you know, giving our clients the right information to make that decision. Going into next year, what we're also seeing is that the rental market itself is still being challenged. So I bring up this example in that we were able to help a client out. She was going through divorce, and she wanted her and her daughters to move out in about 3 weeks' time. So we used this great tool called the Rent Spree, which a lot of landlords specific to you know, renting out their single-family homes will utilize this solution, and we're able to do multiple applications with one client. It does all the screening, meaning their credit reports, and then with our client manager, we can set up that application for each client to be able to submit the same application to multiple properties. So that's definitely something that we integrate for our clients that are going through these tougher life changes, so they don't have to worry about the manual process of submitting application, especially in a competitive and still challenging rental market. The cool thing in this solution is that they can even apply for renter's insurance, and that's all integrated with the application process itself. Not to say that, you know, we jump on the bandwagon to help you know, all leasees, but it's definitely a value added solution that we provide for our clients, especially, you know, dealing with these tough life changes. Other parts that I want to go over.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, in here, yeah, we can also run commercial reports in here, which I think I touched on as well. So this is inclusive of multifamily properties, as well as real estate investments, meaning retail space and or warehouses. So some cool, you know, neat tools within our fingertips to give our clients the data that they need. Yes, Moshe, you had a question?
Questions for whether it be residential and or commercial. Is there something called a stamp tax? Like in Delaware, I think it's 4%. In New Jersey, if you spend over 250,000, there's a tax that's paid for by the buyers. Does California have that as well for purchases?
So there's been some legal changes to that and how our commissions are being calculated. So
not commissions. Stamp taxes for a person who's buying a home or possibly buying a business. It has nothing to do with realtors or any other professional. It's the home buyer or buying a commercial property. I don't know if they have that in California or not.
I don't believe so, but I do work with a couple of accountants and CPAs, so I can touch base on.
If you don't know about it, because I'm sure you attended closings and then it's not there.
Yeah, so I sold a 6-unit apartment building back in August for a client here locally in LA, and I don't recall that, but I can confirm for you and just make sure we don't.
I'm just curious to see which states have it and which don't. Thank you.
Okay, no.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Paul.
Paul's raising his hand. There you go.
I thought I'd be like a good student. David, do you use cost segregation studies at all?
Yes, we do partner with accountants, CPAs for cost segregation studies.
Okay, because I just want to make sure you're giving your investors the best shot at it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it also, once you write off a lot of the depreciation, that's when we can also re-engage with other investment questions or possible opportunities with the client as well as their accountant and CPA.
Okay.
Yeah, David. Yeah, it's a quick question. I'm wondering the really impressive presentation there. Wondering on the properties, is that including condos as well, or is it single family homes?
Yeah,
Or
I
all
can
the
run
above?
it. Yes, I can run it for both. So for that example, I just use LA County and just for single family homes. But with a quick click, I can run it for any specific city or even targeted neighborhoods and be able to toggle between single family homes and then condos and townhomes. Generally, condos and townhomes we find them lumped in together.
Yeah, I mean, great, really great tools there. And the other question I have is recently, I was been made aware there's that the litigation regarding commissions, buyer and seller commissions. That was, I guess, it had to do with whether the buyer, I guess the selling agent, whether or not that commission split is legal or not. I'm wondering, how's that playing out with Coldwell Banker? Maybe you can speak towards that a little bit better than I'm articulating it here, but there's an issue about the 6% commission and who's responsible to pay that. Can you update on that?
Sure. Yeah, good question. With that litigation, I think the verbiage, prior as the industry as a whole here in California, the seller has always paid for the buyer's portion of the commission, right? So we generally would split that commission with the listing agent that brings us the clients. But moving forward, we're not allowed to now say, hey, generally, it's 5% and we split it 2.5% each way. So there are, some situations where, the client themselves, meaning the seller of the property, can say, I'm going to give 0% for that buyer representation. Obviously, our guidance is that, to our client, we're not going to get the foot traffic or that the correct representation if we don't provide any compensation, for the buyer's agent. So my last two presentations, they're okay with it. But we have seen sellers say that they're not going to pay any sort of commissions, but we generally would explain to them and educate them that it's going to be really challenging, even under 2% to get that representation, and to not offer it, it's just going to be more of a challenge to get your offers accepted and getting additional foot traffic onto the property. So overall, if we were explaining it correctly and giving our clients the correct confidence and showing them historical data, it hasn't really been a challenge for our firm.
I don't think it's going to be a challenge for anybody.
Yeah, thanks, Paul.
I had a question because I got a lecture on it yesterday from my cousin who does real estate in Pennsylvania. As I understand it, part of the problem with the administration is the fact that the transparency is one issue. The co-op fee sometimes isn't split in half is the second issue. And the third issue involved with this is also the fact that there are other professionals recommended by realtors that may have, I'm not saying they're acting unprofessionally intentionally. I'm not going to make that insinuation, but there may be a conflict of interest because the termite company may be renting space in a real estate office and they may recommend them for termite work, title work, etc. And I'm not insinuating you or your company, but that's the way it was explained to me. And that was part of it. It's still working. It's going to be working its way up through the court system. As I understand, the NAR is challenging all this. Can you elaborate further?
From a legal perspective, we're just still doing business as usual. I would say here at Coldwell Banker, we get audited for everything. I signed probably a couple additional more forms just to protect me, our clients, as well as our company. So I would say we do everything pretty strict by the book.
Yeah, it's
did that answer your question? Because I think it was kind of a reference to kickbacks and these sort of commissions as we refer.
I purposely don't want to use the word kickback because that means you have to do it that way, as opposed to what some companies have done to try to get referrals from realtors is rent space in real estate offices so that they get the natural through the natural look. I have an Apple phone. I can't tell how many programs you get through the Apple ecosystem. So these professionals rent space in and I'm saying this to others, I know you know this, they rent space in real estate offices in hopes that they're going to get referrals for deals because the realtors want to keep their offices filled. And sometimes there's a question about whether some of these professionals will pass things through that could go either way because of the relationship they have with the realtor. I'm not saying David acts that way, let me be clear, but that was one of the issues. It was, as I understand it, was included with the challenge in court. So I just wanted to explain why I was asking that question. I didn't want to insinuate anything about David or Caldwell Banker.
No. I think your question kind of touched on it, so I have to address it, right, Mosh?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think some of the local differences in real estate are coming into play because you're comparing a scenario that's not really relevant in California. And I can, if you look at the fact that Coldwell Banker has been around for over 100 years, they didn't stay in business by doing dirty deals. It's an excellent company. And look at the sophistication of the tools he's just shown us, in 5 minutes. It's incredible. So
I'm really, I was not impugning, I was referring to
Oh, I
real
know,
estate in
I
general,
know.
what's going on. I want to be clear. That was not my intent at all.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that you're talking about a situation that's not really relevant to this market. So things are different here.
Hey, do we have a couple minutes, moving forward to do shout out?
You want those shout outs again?
Not on me, not on me. What I was thinking is, great person for doing that is Phil Wolfstein. Yeah, he's met with everybody, talks to everybody, he's very, very involved. And I thought maybe, we could do a shout out of Phil Wolfstein. How does that sound? Is that okay with you, Paul? And Scott?
That's awesome. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll join in. Phil is so organized and he's got obviously really good systems to follow up because he's working with me on a great referral, and this person is a great staller, but Phil's prompt has been very beneficial.
No, we'll get it done. We'll get it done. this has been a great group to work with. We have regulars, we have people that come in and always some new faces, but a really focus really is on referrals and building relationships. And it's like, for me, just admit is that I'm not about like quantity. It's like being in a lot of networking groups, a little like a phone book. You can meet lots of people and get lots and lots of names and numbers. And it really doesn't generate business or doing that. What builds business is relationships. And it's like getting to with Russell, with Scott, with almost, most of the people on this call right here, over time, we get to know each other. Know what you do, and you have that confidence, and you win, and it's a trust and confidence. That's the foundation that we can really build some business on and do business on. And I've just found that's true over time. And so continuity and trust and confidence, that's a key elements. And I think Bob's nodding his head, and so I really appreciate this group, and thank you for that shout out. That's really nice.
Yeah, the other thing I find about Phil, which is it's rewarding for everybody, because he's got an open-mindedness. He's willing to listen. He's willing to make changes when the suggestions are good. And like I said, our objective is to take this group to a whole new level, so that we get even more consolidated and working together. And I think that makes a big difference. Phil is one of the leaders of the pack. I probably met with everybody in this group at this point. And I think everybody would say the same thing. Anybody else want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I like to say the subtitle for our group is "Everybody Loves Phil."
Well, I'm blushing. Okay, that's not a special effect. Anyway, thank you so much. But along these lines, Ed, it's great to meet you here this morning. I did send you a note in the chat. I don't know if you saw it, But recently, with Zoom Business, myself recently listed and sold several environmental and pest companies, pest and termite control companies. So if you're acquiring or you were looking, thinking about an exit strategy or plan, good to connect. Let's connect and chat and see if there's something that I can help you with.
Yeah, Phil, definitely in the acquisition mode. I've purchased 5 pest and termite companies in the last 10 years, so
Wow,
always looking for more.
Sounds good.
love to hear that.
Let's chat then.
Hey, Phil, how many states can you operate in as a business broker?
I can operate in all the states. I think there's around 7 or 8 states where you have to have a special licensing. Like, for example, I have a listing in Florida right now for an environmental services business, and I engage a licensed broker in Florida that becomes the record for the listing in that state. But generally speaking, it can list in any state. That said, my focus is really here in California, and and in California, mostly Southern California. So like when you're when you've got 600,000 business, when you're in LA in this area, you don't have to cast a wider net to look for business opportunities.
Terrific.
Anybody else on Phil?
A quick shout out to Russell Lookadoo, because Russ has so much knowledge, and he's like tech forward, but he's also so down to earth, and he brings a great sense of humor, and he's just, the guy's he's like scary smart, and I'm sure his clients love him because he's the kind of guy I know he can just find the solutions and find the flaws and then work through those. And I'll bet your retention rate for your clientele is very high. So we appreciate you, Russ.
Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that. Appreciate you running this group with your perspective, and that makes it very enjoyable. Appreciate being here. Missed you the last 5 weeks, but this is my high season, but it's a lot of fun.
Well, welcome back. Debbie, you raised your hand. Go for it.
Well, I do want to do a shout out to Scott. He's great at finding you health insurance and the other services he offers with businesses. Also, he actually did my Zyto link scan, so I appreciate him doing that. And he was quite educated with what it came out with. So I thank you, Scott, for doing that.
Yeah, I'd like to echo Debbie's tech and her skills as a health professional. In the past 2 years, she's gotten some incredible certifications. She's really done some deep dives, and this tool, the Zyto link, is incredibly sophisticated. It does a scan of your face from an iPhone app, and it's amazing what it can detect. So I urge you to get more information from her, and I encourage you to do that test. You'd probably be alarmed at what's happening in our bodies, but it's really great information. So thank you, Debbie.
So another little.
I was going to say, Scott, I have good news for you.
Our season.
Okay, I'll chime in. For here, let me do this. I'll just get it out real quickly. For people that are paying members in our group, which is a good portion of this group, we created a tag in your MyCity account called Business Builder Group. And it's just another way for you to be on top of the people that you have as connections and who they are, and be able to look them up. Really the key to our process is to give referrals. And I'm finding, by the way, it, not a lot of people want to use the referral software that we created. So if you want to go ahead and send to Marie, mycityalerts@gmail.com, or notify me that a referral was given, I would certainly appreciate making sure that we can make announcements about the number of referrals that are given in each one of our meetings. So would like to get your you're doing so in our meetings, letting us know, or letting me know that you've given a referral, because I've said it a million times, 60% of most people's new business comes from referral. So if you're not referring, then shame on you. Anyway, that's all I have to say.
Moshe, real
You
quick.
know, you'll be happy to know if my portable is working, I'll be seeing Ed this weekend because I'm working the bridal show in Atlantic City.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
That's great. Yeah, we're going to wrap up. I just wanted to echo what Bob is saying. In the coming year, we're going to have some specific advancements in how we handle the referral systems and how we promote each other. So we're going to be working on that kind of. Bob's got a lot happening behind the scenes because he has a whole programming staff, in case you weren't aware of that. But we're going to be working together on how to best present this information to you guys so that the referrals that we are dealing here are going to help your business. That's our main goal. So I want to thank everybody for attending. It's already our first week in December is already passed, amazingly, coming up on the holidays. Or happy Hanukkah for those who practice that. And thank you again. We'll see you next week.
Great meeting. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.